Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to go over my process of bidding on storage lockers. I use what is called Bid 13. This is a big locker, 10 by 15 at 401. It's still got a day and a few hours. I'd have to bid 411 or higher to win that one. It's a little bit out of my price range for what I'm looking for. Anyway, so here's the Bid 13. I'll scroll back up here. The zip code and the miles from that zip code, you type that in and it'll bring up the lockers that are up for bid. We'll click into this first one here. This one seems like it's a pretty good one. There's some furniture, big items. So I flip through. Sometimes I'll zoom in and zoom out. I've already bid on this. I know what's in there. I'm just kind of showing you. So I'll flip through, get an idea of what is in there, and then I will scroll down. Sometimes you can watch the video. They sometimes help, sometimes they don't. So I'll scroll down here. This one is at 76. It's got a day and a few hours. I'm actually the highest bidder on this one. So we will go over to Facebook, and I will use Facebook, eBay, and Amazon and do some price checking. For this example, we'll just use Facebook. I like to have a good idea of local pricing. So I will put in and search dressers. So I want to find a high price, a low price, and a medium price. So I'll go through, scroll down, try and find something that is similar in design, color, and we'll do that. And there's one here, right here, wrapped. It's going to be $175, so on the higher end. And it has a smaller dresser. There's a large and small dresser in this particular storage unit. $175 for the large and $115. Okay, that gives me a pretty good idea of a high end. And then I'll scroll down and find a low. Oh, there's one right there. $20. Looks like it's a bit rough. Yep. So there's my low end. So 175 and 20. So that gives me a good idea of my high and low, and then I find something kind of in the middle. This helps me in two different ways. This allows me to have an idea of the value of the item, so I can know what my bid price is, and then resell price as well. Here's one, it's $150. It's a little bit different, but fairly close. So I will take and calculate all the big items that I can see and get a price. So let's say on this locker, I calculated the items I could see immediately to value $200. Then what I do is I cut that price in half, and that's $100. So I then know that my highest bid is $100. I bid $76. We ended up getting this one at $76, and I came in well below what my bid goal was. What's happening, everyone? So we won the storage locker. We are here, and I didn't get on video, but I went inside. The process is you go inside, they email you a code, and that's just to verify that you've purchased and everything. So I go in there, take the code in, and she verifies it. I pay for the unit itself, and then I put down a $100 deposit. That $100 deposit is used to basically secure it, and you get it back once you clean everything out. So now we've got a map. Cover up the code here. We got a map that shows us where it is, just above my finger there. So we're gonna go in and go open it up and start loading things up. So super excited. We're about to go find treasures. So here we go. Okay, so we're here. We got it. So yeah, there's this dresser. We got this dresser. Looks like there's some glassware. There's a few things in here that are going to be pretty good. So we'll just start working on unloading it. So we're home. It took us 2 loads. This is the last load. It's mostly junk. We got the furniture and that. A lot of times you end up with a lot of junk. There's a few good things. We'll probably make back our, we'll break even probably with the 2 dressers. The one's broken, but I think we can probably get, like $10 out of it. The rest of it's good. It's just missing a drawer, and then it's got some nicks on it. Someone will probably pick it up. We'll put it up for $10, $15, and we'll get like 5, which is totally fine. The other dresser will probably get, the mirror goes on it. There's a little garage roller type thing up here. There's like a locker, and ooh, that's a come along. Got a come along. That's actually probably, we'll have to see what that goes for. We might end up keeping that. That's a good thing to have, as long as the cable's a little bent there, but
it's just a little bit.
that may be worth hanging on to. I don't know. We'll see where we're at once we get the other stuff sold. There's like this ergonomic chair. Get that cleaned up. Just with those 4 items, we're gonna make back. It was $76. Just with those 4 items, we should make things back. Most of this other stuff's garbage. We do have this thing. It's not real, but it looks nice and expensive. Jackie says she looked it up and it was expensive. So we get that. That will probably make profit on this. Right here was the big one. I thought it was just a case, and then I picked it up, and it's not just a case. In fact, it is an actual camera. So it's a Canon D77. Jackie wants it. But we bought this locker with the intention of making some money. So I don't intend on keeping anything. There might be 1 or 2 things that we might end up keeping that we need or can use, but most of it I don't want to keep around because we're trying to get rid of stuff anyway. So now it's really just about going through the bins. We're going through some of the stuff that's in the trailer now. Most of it's garbage and going to be donated. There's things like this water cooler. There's water in it though, and who knows how long that's been in there. I'll look at it. Maybe I can tear it apart, clean it up, and we can resell it. But most of it is just going through, getting rid of the garbage. We're gonna have a load of stuff to go to the dump anyway, from the stuff we've been going through here at home. So we'll just throw that into the trailer and it'll go to the dump as well. I don't know if I got much of us going through and unloading the storage unit itself. When I picked the camera up, it looked like it had died. So I'll have to go through all of that footage and that. If we lost it, I'm sorry. That kind of went through the whole phase. Usually what we do is we get there, we go check in with the front desk, get all the information, sign all the papers, pay all the money, go back, open things, and we just start going through things there. We did a little bit of that this time. We've got us, our 3 kids and an extra child, and they were being a little crazy, so we basically just tried to get everything loaded up into the trailer and brought back so that they can at least just go play in the backyard while we go through things. But so there's a few tricks you can do while you're going through things. Some places will give you 2 days, other places will give you 3 up to 4 days. Generally, it's 2 to 3 days to clean out the locker. There's usually a deposit you put down, anywhere from $50 to $100, and that deposit is put down until you get it cleaned out. They go in and inspect it. If it passes inspection, you get your deposit back, which is what happened today. I tried to do it within the first 24 hours. The good thing with that is that makes the facility happy. That means they can get it onto the market and get it filled and start making money again with the unit. So I try to get there and get it cleaned out as soon as possible, and then it keeps a good rapport between me and the facility. So when I buy an auction locker from them and I go in there, it makes the process that much smoother. So that's what we do. And then we just try and get it in there and get everything out and taken care of. If you have several days to do things and you just have a huge locker, I try to stay away from the big lockers because I don't have extra help. It's usually ends up being Jackie and I. We try to stay away from the big lockers because that's a lot of work. You gotta have a lot of manpower to work through those. But I have gotten a larger, I think the largest we got was a 10 by 15. That was a lot of work, a lot of trips, and we tried to basically go through it while we were there and try to remove the stuff that we could donate, stuff that we could take to the dump and trash, and just made runs that way, and then took home the stuff of value that we were able to. These smaller lockers I actually like a lot. A lot of people try to, people that are really hardcore into this go for the medium to large lockers. The smaller lockers usually are a bit more dirty and junk, but the thing is the high value items I have found that have really made a bit of money. Oh, you found one? Cool. They have actually been in some of these smaller lockers, and the funny thing is some of the messier lockers have been some of the more profitable. They have also been the ones with the most work. One of the best lockers that you can find is older furniture and things that are in totes and nicely stacked. Those lockers usually go for a pretty high number anyway, because that's what everyone's after. But I'll go to auction and I will pay to get one good locker that way, and then I usually will get a couple of these small lockers, and we'll pay anywhere, I don't know, what's the most we've paid? About 500 when we bought like 3.
I think, no, we bought 2. Or was it 3?
I think we bought 3 lockers at once.
About 500.
Yeah.
And 50, maybe 600.
Yeah, it was right around $500. Though that trip, we literally filled our garage. I don't like doing that. Really, the ideal thing to do is if you have storage outside of your house. We will not take things in the house. It'll go to the garage or the shed. But there's some people that will take and use extra shed or the shipping containers. There are a few people I know of that actually have facilities, and so they'll take it to their shop or their facility and they'll store it there and they have employees and stuff that go through that stuff. We don't. That's why I stick to the smaller ones. But that's pretty much the process, and overall it's this locker, it was dirty, but the people themselves weren't really that dirty. the stuff had just been in the locker for a long time, and some mice and stuff got in. They had some ferret food
Dog food.
and dog food, and mice just got into it and got all over stuff. Anyway, yeah. So the stuff we got is actually fairly decent shape. There is some stuff that is junk, but overall, these people weren't super messy. We've been in lockers that it was just a complete mess. Most of the stuff we trashed. We only kept a few items, and really, when it comes down to it, that's generally what it is: a handful of items that make you good money. The rest of it gets junked. There's some people that don't even waste going through that stuff. They go in for the big number items, grab those things, and the rest of it goes to the dump. For bigger, these bigger guys, it's probably good for them. I like to go through this stuff because that's when you find the treasures. Sometimes golds, valuable jewelry, firearms. I haven't ever found firearm, but other things. That camera. There's also a video game. I don't know if you guys caught that or if the camera caught that, but there's one of those Nintendo systems, the Super Nintendo. So that'll probably fetch a little bit of money too. So, I mean, that's why it's worth going through some of these things, and we get these smaller ones. But anyway, that's pretty much it. If we come across anything freaking awesome and crazy and digging through this, I'll pop back on here. We're going through things, and we found this in a backpack. So we're looking around for a name. Hopefully we can find a name and get that back to them. So anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting, but if we find anything else, we'll let you know. All right, so as we've been going through things, we're going through things, as you can see. There's a bunch of seasons, like we have the Arrow seasons. We have, so we got Arrow seasons. We have Fringe seasons, Dexter. So all of those we'll be taking when we go down to Anchorage next week. There's some, like a multimedia store down there that'll take stuff in exchange for cash. There's some other places down there, but so it turns out that Canon camera that we found, that's the biggest item in here for sure, and we're looking at just the body of the camera is worth like $400. There's a lens in there that's worth like $250. So we're probably looking at anywhere between $600-800 worth of camera equipment. Now, granted, we're not going to get that, but we're probably looking at being able to get anywhere between $400 and $500 for that camera. The locker stuff's weird because there's sometimes stuff you're like, that's not going to sell. You put it up, or you go sell it, and you end up being surprised. Some of the stuff that sells is kind of funny. So this bad boy here, it's a composite bullhead. I literally just posted this not even half hour ago. I've had a bunch of people comment on it, and I have one guy picking it up, and I have it priced for $75. And I went online. I could not find the bull version, but I did find a deer version, and the deer version was going for anywhere between $95 and $125. So I figured, we'll put this up at about $75, and I did, and we got someone coming and picking it up right now. Couldn't pay the $75. So that right there is $1 short of the cost of our locker. So with one item, we've almost completely paid off. There's other stuff in here. We've got a profit of at least, with that camera and that, we've got a profit of a minimum $500 off of something that we paid $76 and spent an afternoon on. Well, ultimately it's going to be more than an afternoon because we've been going through stuff, but just a couple days, an afternoon and then a couple days leisurely, we could probably go through this entire thing and get things sold and everything within a week's time. And that would end up being like $500 for a week, which is pretty good. And if you do it continually. Other thing, update on that metal, not finding anyone. I finally posted it on Facebook and asked the community. And so we've got a couple names, and I have a VA social worker that I'm working with, and she's doing a little more digging, and we've narrowed it down to the 2 names. Pretty sure it's the one, and they're trying to find family so that we can get that metal to them. So that's good. I got to look up the Super Mario mini game. It's missing a cord, but it's a basic USB mini cord. So I just got to find a 110 volt to 220 volt plug for it. And I may actually have one laying around. So if that's the case, easy peasy. I got to look up and see how much that's going to be worth. We still have 4 totes to go through. We've already taken 1 load to donation, so it's going pretty good. That's where we're at, and yeah, that's basically how we do it. There's some ways that we can improve, and there's some mistakes we made along the way on this one. I forgot a couple things when we went. Camera died halfway through unloading the storage locker, so there's going to be some stuff missing there. But really, you do this a few times during the summer, and you could easily make several $1,000s. I know people that have taken and made this into a career, and they do very well. We just kind of do this on the side when we need some extra money or money for the summers, and that's what we've done. We'll just end the video here. So hope you guys liked and enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.